Good morning. Wednesday morning here on Ashlawn Farm, and we're just after putting out 6 young cows and heifers. They're being put in here now. They're coming very near calving. They're beginning to spring up, and we expect them to have some calves within the next week or 10 days. So we have isolated them away from the main batch of dry cows, so that we can keep a much closer eye on them. And we put them on a different type of grass, a much heavier covers with a bit more training in it. I would prefer if we had a bit more training in it, but we haven't, and I suppose that's due to those poor growth in July and early August. This will be stripped from the end of July, or maybe sometime the middle of July, and would have been let grow, and we would have been expecting to have a bit more stem in it, but as the growth was slow enough, and then a burst of growth came the last couple of weeks, so we got a lot of green grass. But look, it'll be grand as the year goes on. It'll get more stemmier, and we put them in there to a small block. Along with that is, as you see back in the background, it is adjacent to the farmyard, so we can, when the calf, it's only a matter of running them in and bringing the calf up, and if anything needs any difficulties, we can run them into the yard very, very quickly. And along with that is, it's near hand the house, that we can come down at night time and check them, and first thing in the morning time, so we have them under our eye, so that we can able to keep a very, very good eye on them. So there's 6 in there at the minute. There's probably another 4 or 5. We'll join them in another few days. Kenneth will be taking them out as currents to come near calving, so he's about 13 to calve in September. So we'll be taking them out as need be. We don't want to put them in here too long, or we'd run out of grass here, this type of grass, for the cows near calving. The reason you put a bit more stem in it, and that is that the fibre is much better for cows near calving. It helps their stomach a lot better, and along with that is, we this didn't get slurry for a good while. It could be maybe last spring since it got slurry. We ran into a problem there last year. We put them out on a paddock that had a slurry earlier on in the summer, and it causes milk fever. So this is the whole thing, is to make sure that they don't get milk fever, and that the calf down with less difficulties. So there's a lot of management on calving cows. It's not just a matter of pegging them into a paddock and letting let pot luck take. Well, you can do that, but if you want to maximize your output and minimize your losses, you have to manage them, and that's what we try to do on our farm here on Ashlawn Farm. But having said that, we will have losses, and we will have mishaps that will happen no matter how good you think you're doing it. Like yesterday, Monday morning, we went out and checked them, and the cow that was about 3 to 4 weeks away from calving had aborted, and we had one little dead heifer calf from her without a little while later, and she had another one. So she was one of those carrying twins, wasn't able to carry them the full term. Twins probably died within inside, and she aborted them. So you have those mishaps anyways. Look, that's farming, that's livestock, but we try to keep them to the bare minimum, and we maximise our output here on Ashlawn Farm, and we try to treat the cows with a bit of comfort and dignity, and that they're not abused and that. And when the calf outside here, it's a very, very healthy way for calves to be born, and for the mother as well. And it's much easier for them to get up after calving. They're much better grip than they have on a cement shed. And that's, so look, this works for us, provided the weather is reasonably good, and but we'd have to maybe change as the year goes on, and I'll be keeping you up to speed. I'll be putting up videos on a regular basis. So that's the first 6. We're keeping an eye on those. Kenneth said there's another 4 or 5 dry off out of the main herd, and so we won't be milking that many for the next couple of weeks until he starts calving. So I have to finish a few little bits and pieces to do above in the calving boxes, and that a lot of leaves and dust blew in over the summer, and I just need to go and power wash it out. And there's one gate, however, I managed it, I missed it, so I need to go and power wash that. And so now I'm shooting in for the breakfast, and we'll come out afterwards and we'll finish out the power washing and have the pens and all ready for calving and get the drinkers and all that ready this week. Okay, Eamonn from Ashlawn Farm signing off, and again, thanks to everybody.